Hi, my name is Amber Miller, and I am an online graduate student at Liberty University. I'm recording this video for Psychology 516. All right, the first question is, how have recent historical events affected the course of research in organizational psychology? A major historical event that has recently happened and has affected that field is COVID. One of the results of COVID was a lot of jobs switched to telehealth, which is something that has affected me personally. With this, there is some pros and some cons. Some pros are that working from home, it is more comfortability and kind of, you don't have to wait in traffic to get to work and things like that. The cons is that we are social beings. We thrive off of human interaction and seeing friends and colleagues and things like that. This has affected a lot of people's mental health. A really great thing about my job is that it has offered like mental health therapy sessions, group sessions to kind of try to get that social interaction going um, and try to promote that as well. Um, Even though many companies have started going back to work and things like that, um, the telehealth has thrived. So a lot of companies have offered employees to continue residing, um, doing telehealth and things like that. One that metrics has improved because people were comfortable and they had um, that option of choosing to do both. So that was more of a job satisfaction. All right. Question number 2. Describe the socialization process for graduate students in your program. Is the program successful in socializing newcomers and creating job embeddedness? Socialization relating to online programs, it's a bit more difficult, only because you're working from your computer most of the time with classes and things like that. Familiarity is huge with socialization. You want to get familiar with the program, the people you're working with, your teachers, and things like that. One way that I think Liberty does a great job of this is discussion boards. Not only are you reviewing topics for that week, but you also get insight on your classmates' thoughts and differences and get to really discuss their different thoughts on a topic that you discussed or the class discussed. With acculturation, Liberty offers great resources and extracurricular activities, clubs, and with engaging through the process of enrolling and things like that, I know Liberty helped me a ton with the call center. So they were really great about engaging to get you enrolled in classes and getting you set up and things like that. That made me feel more welcomed. And the call center is used for a lot of things: financial aid, enrolling, um, student advocates, and things like that. I think that they do a great job with that. Um, Liberty also offers job fairs and job resources and things like that. With that socialization, that gets us prepared to make the transition more smoothly into a career or our next job after graduation and things like that. My values do align with Liberty's due to the Christian culture. I do have Christian values, and I think it's really great that they incorporate that into learning. Um, you know, we can take Christ with us and no matter what we do and no matter what field we do, our activities, everything, and Liberty promotes that, and I think that is really great. I do think Liberty does a great job and is very successful in socializing newcomers. They just take the extra steps in engaging with students, sending calls and text messages and reminders about upcoming events and trying to get them engaging in the culture and things like that and with each other. Um, how can an organization reduce or prevent family work conflict? Um, this has been on the rise, the work-family conflict lately, especially at my job. I know that they're advocating for more of a balance with that. Um, a way that an organization can reduce this conflict is by having an open discussion, um, getting together with one another in a group setting or one-on-one sessions with a supervisor and going over what that organization, the employees' problems are regarding that. So, um, like, for instance, if an employee has kids, a lot of parents have to go to school at a certain time to pick those kids up. Talking about a supervisor about maybe having a flexible schedule. That way, as long as you get your certain number of hours each week, they don't mind when you leave or when you come in. I know that is a great thing that my job has, and as a mom, I am very, very happy with that because I do have to go pick up my daughter, and that does relieve one of the conflicts with, work and family life for me. Um, Another thing that, engaging with the employees, like trying to find out what their personal work family balance is and trying to, resolve those issues. It is a team building exercise. This can make the team closer and improve employee satisfaction, which can also improve metrics or numbers and things of that sort. It makes your employees feel you really care about not only them as a person, but their well-being as well. Um, if a work and family conflict goes too long without getting resolved, it can cause performance numbers to drop. It can cause a decrease in the well-being of that employee and also decrease job satisfaction, which can lead to turnover rates, which is not great for a company because it means that you have a lot of employees quitting. Um, and this also can lead to employee burnout, which is when an employee is unhappy with their job, and it can also cause an effect on their well-being and their numbers and things like that as well. Um, there shouldn't be a choice having to choose between work or home life. There should be that balance. I think that is important for everyone to have, kind of like compartmentalizing, like work stays at work, home life stays at home. And I know a lot of this doesn't work for some. I know um, combining the two can also improve because, some of the things that happen at home, those skills that you have also relate to their job. Um, all right, moving right along. Imagine you have been asked to develop a performance assessment program for an employee development. What techniques could you use to adequately evaluate employee performance and comprehensively as possible? If I was to develop a performance assessment, I would focus on the categories of task-oriented performance, how their interpersonal skills are, so their involvement in work with coworkers and things like that, and outside work behaviors. So relating back to our previous question, their work-life balance. Does this person have other issues in their life and how that affects their job and things like that? Does this person have destructive behaviors? Um, I think the best way to start this would be to get the employee supervisor to evaluate them naturally, so without them knowing. So just kind of get a good sense of like how they go about their day, how they get their work done, how they engage. Because if the person knows, they feel more under pressure and they know someone's watching. So that will tend to lead to like not natural responses about what they would do. Um, this would also relate to so like the interpersonal interaction that would relate to social skills, their strengths, their weaknesses, their achievements. I think achievements are huge because a lot of the times companies usually focus on what we could do better. Um, a great thing to focus on is their achievements. Um, what have they achieved at the time with the company, and how can that be rewarded, or how can that be, announced or appreciated, and things like that as well. Then the employee would fill out a self-assessment. So the supervisor has their assessment that they filled out of seeing the employee naturally work. And then the employee fills out what they think about themselves. So, like a self evaluation, listing their strengths, their weaknesses, their performance, how they thought they did. Um, and then they would both sit down together and review those, go over what they think, their the employee's strengths were, their weaknesses. I think this is really great because it puts in perspective, you know, what someone thinks about themselves, or, maybe there was something that the employee thought they weren't good at, but, the supervisor thought they were thriving. So that could also build confidence and improve um, metrics and things like that as well. Depending on the outcome of the evaluation and the assessment, I think it would be great to offer some kind of reward or a raise, some kind of incentive to keep the progress going. Um, this way, the employee feels um, satisfied as well, that they're doing a great job and it's reinforced. Um, All right. The last question that we have is, what are some possible common organizational constraints? How could they lead to counterproductive behaviors? Um, so with this, some organizational constraints would be poor management and abuse within the organization. Um, this can lead employees to be unsatisfied, um, withdrawing, have lower performance rate, lower confidence, their well-being has decreased, so has their mental health, um, higher turnover rates, and the list can go on. Employees are the ones who make the company, that work to ensure that the company is meeting metrics, getting the numbers out there, doing the work. So it's definitely important to make sure um, they're happy as well. Some poor management examples are yelling, overworking the employees, overworking the employees and not paying them overtime. Being short-staffed and knowing about being short-staffed. So not scheduling enough staff, and the staff that are there are stressed and are not happy because they're being overworked. Poor communication skills. Communication skills are really huge because you can tell by body language, by tone, and things like that, how someone is feeling, or how they're trying to get their message across. So if a supervisor or management has poor communication skills, the employees are not getting clear instructions on what needs to be done, and that can make things a little bit chaotic and unorganized, which can also lead to stress and a decrease in well-being and things like that. Um, so this can cause employees to have counterproductive behaviors. And some examples of this is undirected aggression. So, say the employee is stressed out because they're understaffed and they are just not in the best mood that day. That can cause them to lash out at someone, over asking a question or just trying to help them. Um, this can also cause, I know with my job dealing with a lot of members and things like that, we tend to get a lot of unhappy members sometimes trying to fix their problems. And this can cause some people's mood to decrease as well. And this can also cause them to have those counterproductive behaviors. Um, a few more are theft. Some people, if they don't feel as if they're being compensated, they might try to steal from the company. Another is sabotage of products or merchandise. So, say an employee is upset, they're trying to lash out, they might go as far as sabotaging, production or something like that. Um, all right. Well, that is all that I have for today. Thank you for listening and have a great day.